Today's video is going to be a really fun one. I have always been a huge nerd when it comes to anything in the wellness space. More than shopping for clothes or food or things around the home, I have always invested a lot of my time to study, to learn, to figure out what the best of the best is in the space. And more importantly, what are the tools that can actually help me figure out and understand my body and my mind better? These are things that I actually utilize, and not just utilize, but I have used consistently beyond that initial purchase excitement. Oh, I just saw a monarch butterfly. That's so pretty. And I hope it goes without saying that even though today's video is featuring really helpful tools, they're not needed, they're not necessities in order for you to have a comprehensive and holistic routine or daily practice or lifestyle that supports your overall well-being. First one on the list today is the Muse S Headband. It is a brain training headband that uses EEG and FNIRS advanced technology in order to monitor your heart rate, your breathing, your body movement, and your brain activity. It gives real-time biofeedback during each session when you're wearing it. This is what mine looks like. So it also gives audio cues so that you're aware of when you are in a focused and calm state or when you've become distracted. The reason why I really love it is it gamifies the experience of staying focused, training my brain, as well as just overall meditation. There's honestly a huge library of different meditation practices, and you can kind of pick it on what your goal is. So whether it's focus, calm, help easing anxiety, or sleep. My favorite one so far has been, there's two of them. The first one that I love is a drumming one, and what it does is it's training your heart to synchronize with the drum beat. I just love the sound of it. Today I was super distracted and I needed to sit down and have like a deep focus session, and I just was doing random things to tick them off my to-do list. And so I put the headbands on and did a drumming session, and immediately I felt both calm and focused at the same time, and I was able to actually sit down and start doing deep work. My other favorite one is a wind chime body biofeedback one. Essentially, it asks you to imagine that you're sitting in the middle of a giant wind chime, and it's meant to help you get into sort of a relaxed and easeful posture while maintaining this calm and focused state. And I actually sneezed one time during one of the sessions, and it made all the wind chimes go off, and it was really funny actually. But I just love having that body-mind connection sensory feedback to let me know how I'm doing while I'm sitting during meditation. I think whether or not you get benefit out of this device is going to be up to the individual. You can treat it as a meditation device. You can treat it as a focus enhancing or stress reducing tool. Personally, what I really appreciate as new technology advancements are coming onto the market is that we're now able to have accessibility in gadgets that we can have and own in our homes without going to a lab, which is really expensive and costly, and also might not always be available wherever we are. As someone who loves trying new tech gadgets, thank you, Muse, for sponsoring today's video. And if you want to check it out for yourself, I do have a link down below in the description box that gets you 15% off at checkout. Second item on my list is the app Diarly. For some reason, this particular app in terms of journaling just really stuck with me. I've tried a bunch of ones that I've just abandoned over time, and you can set up multiple notebooks or journals for different projects. I've even used it to take notes when I'm studying or learning something. So for me, because I make videos, a lot of times I'm reading, I'm watching videos, I'm learning, I'm gathering quotes, and it's really helpful for me to be able to tag a category so that when I'm making a video next, I can go back and reference my notes. The next app that I have loved and used for a couple of years now is Athlytic. I am a fitness and movement enthusiast. I don't like to just stick to one routine and do the same thing over and over. In fact, I was just joking with my friends the other day that whenever I learn something new, I always end up refining my own routine. And maybe that's not the best practice, but it keeps me excited to keep going, to continue to seek movement routine or try new things that works best for me, that keeps me moving. And so this app has really helped encourage me because I can see and track my progress. It links my recovery, sleep, exertion, energy burned. I gave up tracking my macros, so that's not something that I track. I like seeing my different workouts and the metrics. I can also see the training load effect. So if the workout had an impact on my long-term fitness and my short-term fitness. And listen, I know that there is an accuracy issue, but it's still really nice to see a trajectory, especially if you see that month over month, I've had way more steps per day, or that my VO2 max is increasing, or that my resting heart rate is decreasing, or that my heart rate variability is increasing. Like all these metrics that just basically tells you that what you're doing makes a difference and encourages you to continue. Because a lot of times I don't think we celebrate or we don't pat ourselves on the back when we are consistently staying healthy and doing the things that are good for us. So for me, seeing these metrics and seeing actual changes in the data that's given makes me feel good and want to keep going. The next item on my list is this Ultrahuman Ring. Oh gosh, I don't want to accidentally flip everyone off. I know because I have researched and looked up on the internet. Right now, there's 2 leading brands in this space in bio-tracking rings. I have seen people having similar complaints about both tracking devices. I've also seen people on TikTok, I don't know if they're real or not, where people say that wearing the ring helped them detect early signs of cancer, meaning if they weren't tracking and paying attention to their data, they would have not caught it as early as they have, which is crazy to me. I don't know if those stories are real. I've also seen horrific videos of people having to get their ring saw off their hand from firefighters because they got stuck. The 2 primary things are battery issues and connectivity issues. Truthfully, this is my 3rd replacement. Customer service is really, really, really good at replacing a ring that's malfunctioned or no longer connecting. Because the technology is still relatively new, there's going to be a lot of improvements that they're going to have to work on. In terms of the user experience on the app, I really, really love what this tells me. First of all, obviously it has cycle syncing. It shows me my movement metrics, like how many steps I've taken, all the usual. Also, it gives me a caffeine window, which is well, I know when I'm supposed to stop drinking caffeine. I've definitely noticed that this ring tracks sleep a lot more accurately than my Apple Watch. I don't ever allow data to dictate what I do the next day, but I do pay attention. It tells you what my cardio age is, which it says 28. I'm 34. Pushes me to want to continue to do the things that feel good, that fuel me, that make me feel healthier than I've ever felt, even now in my 30s versus in my 20s. Did a lot of questionable things to my body in my 20s. FutureMe Letters. It's free to use and it's got a special place in my heart. You go onto their website and you write a letter to your future self. And you can set any time you want for them to receive it. Within that time frame that you've set, when it matures, you will get this letter from your past self in your email inbox. And you guys, I cannot tell you how cathartic it is for the whole entire process. Not only just receiving the letters from your past self, but also just the act of writing a letter to your future self, imagining what they might be doing, imagining who they might be, how they might feel. Especially if you're going through a big life change, you can imagine how much can change in 3 years, in 5 years. And just the act of doing this, just the act of sitting down and imagining a future version of you that exists already and having this communication, this line of contact with them has always done really incredible things for me. It's not always the same each time I write a letter. The things that I was experiencing 3 years ago and how maybe I'm not in that situation anymore, in that life anymore. Yet you truly get to experience and get to see how everything happens for a reason. You get to almost travel to the future and have that sense of relief, that trust that everything will be okay. It's an incredible practice. Sometimes we get the urge to buy something to kickstart our new exciting wellness journey, whether that's physical, mental, energetic, spiritual. But I think the core of it is just getting out there, putting your foot down and doing the thing. Create a consistent routine that starts to feel natural and not like a task that you have to complete. But there are things that can help along the way. So let me know if you guys have tried any of those products, devices, tools, apps. Share with us things that you found to be incredibly helpful on your journey. Until next time.